welcome back to the Hobby Painting Hangout livestream. My name is Sam, this is Big Nerds Board Gaming, and today I'm painting the Inquisitor Greyfax. This model I've been sitting on for a little bit, and I thought I'd get her painted up since I was painting some Inquisitors and Inquisition forces lately, so I thought I would just get this done with and move on. So, let's figure out how to do this. Don't really have a strong plan going into this, so we're going to figure it out as we go. If you're new to the channel, we do battle reports, painting videos, crafting videos. Those usually come out every other week, and I do a live stream every Tuesday evening at 7 p.m. Central Time. So, this time right now. All right. Let's figure out where we want to start. So, I'm looking at a reference photo here. I'm not super familiar with the color scheme on her. I also have it in a sub-assembly, which will make things a little bit easier. But she has a lot of metallic details. I guess let's start from the center. We'll start with her corset and work our way out. Alright. So, just gonna get some Abaddon Black. And we'll begin from there. Hope everyone's having a lovely week. Trying a new position with my camera, so hopefully we can get nice and tight. Let's see all the details on the minis. Alright, so we're going to start with some Abaddon Black. Just grabbing my brushes here. Sorry, I was running a little behind today, so I apologize for the late start. But we are ready to roll. Alright. So, I'm just going to block in the base colors here on her corset. So it's going to be Abaddon Black. And then also, on parts of her cape is going to be black on the outside specifically. So I'm going to black that detail in. It is. Could it be? Almost looks like a sister. Almost, David. It is Inquisitor Greyfax. Continuing along with the Inquisition here. We'll do the sword sheath black as well. Add some details on there. And that was the sound of my heart breaking. Well, I'll paint sisters one of these days. I'm sure I'll get to that army eventually. And then we'll also paint the outside of her cape black as well. Let's get that focused. There we go. So I'm hoping I can get this knocked out tonight. We'll see. She doesn't have a super complicated paint scheme. Just a lot of small details. Get her cape. Yeah, this will be black as well. Hopefully I can paint a little bit more precise with this different camera angle here. What color are her sleeves? I guess just... Oh, maybe that's armor under there. I think it is. She's armored up big time. Just looking at my reference photo here. I got the Warhammer website pulled up with the rotating model so I can kind of see all around how they colored it. I think I'm gonna duplicate that paint scheme because it looks pretty good. Looks like we might be slap chopping again. Nope, no slap chopping this time. I just had a zenithal highlight to kind of see the details a little bit better. Sometimes can make painting a little bit easier. Deciding what to do next. I guess I could start blacking in some metallics on her armor, and we can get this tabard here. Yeah, let's do that. I think Rack Earth Flesh base coat. Oh yeah, that was Abaddon Black I was using. Alright. Rack Earth Flesh. It's a nice flowy base paint. Let's get some base coat on this tabard. Coming off the front here. And we'll have to work with that. Then I think we can jump right into metallics. She's got quite a bit of metallic going on. Aiming for like a display quality here. So kind of the usual finish quality you see when I paint characters here on stream. Let's see if I can do that once again. I didn't look today. What was the Warhammer community detachment for today? I think they had knights yesterday. Looks like a cool model. Nice sculpt. GW has some muted colors. I like the muted colors. I usually don't like the super vibrant color schemes that they have. Oh, Grey Knights. That would make sense. Alright, so now we're going to go into some of the metallics on our armor. Just going to get those blocked in with some... Starting out with Lead Belcher. A lot of this is going to be Lead Belcher. Let's give this a good shake. Grey Knights today, Big Knights yesterday. Wonder what the next one's gonna be for tomorrow. Alright, so for her armor, we're just gonna go all around with Lead Belcher here. Space Marines tomorrow. Excellent. That'll be exciting. Yeah, so we're just gonna go Lead Belcher all around on our armor here, and then I'll do some layering with some lighter metallics, and we'll do some washes with Nuln Oil. Let's see how things are looking. Decorative pieces on our armor are going to be like a bronze color. Like brass color. Kind of goldish. I have some ideas on what I'm going to do for that. Those are some high heels, holy cow. Things are kind of hurting when it comes to detachments at the moment. Yeah. Be curious to see what they do. What do they have a lot of in stock that they need to sell? That's what some of these detachments feel like, though. More lead belcher. My lead belcher is running low. I have to get some more. I'm still excited about the Krieg. Can't wait till that stuff comes out. That new codex for Imperial Guard. I got my Krieg army's up to 2,000 points now. And I got my horsies painted up. Oh, even in sub-assembly, this model is kind of tricky to get all the nooks and crannies. Suppose I don't have to worry about being too neat yet. Get this armor under here, under the shoulders. Our gloves. I don't think I've heard you be so cynical. GW is making new detachments for the enjoyment and experience of the players. Of course. Of course. Purely. Also, buy up all the Tyranid warriors. It is an interesting way to move inventory, though. But I do like the detachments, don't get me wrong. I think it's a really good idea. It's actually brilliant from a marketing standpoint. They have a very captive audience now checking their website every single day for a new detachment. On top of the people who already regularly check it. It's kind of like when they were leading up to launching of 10th edition and the new Age of Sigmar, they'd kind of like drip feed you all the little updates. each day, so you come back and check it. I think they have a very unique situation there with a really captive customer base. Alright, let's get this other arm in the backpack. Yeah, she's wearing quite a lot of armor. Already have to go back and touch up some of that black already. It's alright. Had to start somewhere. Alright, so where the backpack attaches, I'm just going to paint that lead belcher as well. And the backpack itself. I'm actually going to get a bigger brush for this. To be fair, I think they're in a position of their own making. Oh no, this is Ironbreaker, not Lead Belcher. I grabbed the wrong paint. Right. Lead Belcher. I will use Ironbreaker at some point, so not a total goof. Alright, so just gonna paint that whole backpack Lead Belcher to begin. Also gonna get some details on the gun too while I'm at it. I have an Eisenhorn miniature I might paint next. Or maybe I'll instead of Lieutenant Titus, Space Marine, might paint him. I haven't decided what I'm gonna paint after this one though. Let's take a look. Yeah. Okay. Actually, the gun, I think I'm gonna paint the gun Ironbreaker, just to kind of distinguish it a little bit differently from her armor. think that might be the move. Got all the metallics on the gun and iron breaker. Got like a bolter or a crossbow thing going on. It's kind of interesting. Wonder how the how that works. If it's like a combi weapon, a combi crossbow, or what? Titles would be cool. I do enjoy when you paint the rank and file too. Well, there's plenty of rank and file to be painted, that is for sure. Get these metal bits on the crossbow blocked in. This brush is not behaving for me. It's splitting apart. I hate it when that happens. Gonna go in the bad pile. I think I'm gonna do the underside of her cape next, and then we'll go into the Nuln Oil. And Mephiston red, maybe corn red. I think we'll do Mephiston red. Nice, strong red. Just give that metallic some time to dry before we go into the next step. So I'm just gonna get a base coat of Mephiston red on the underside of this cape here. Suppose I could also get the detail on the gun. Alright, let's get the gun. Red on the gun casing. I don't know if I'm too crazy about the way I glued this on the sub-assembly holder. It's kind of an awkward angle. Might have to pop it off and reposition. Already making a mess here. Alright. Not super happy with this, but gotta get some red on the inside of her cape. Black on the outside. Okay, I think that's good for now. Let's move on to some Nuln Oil on the armor. Go back to the silver. Lots of work to be done there. I'm going to use the old Nuln Oil formula, because I think it does a better job tinting. I still have some of it, so we're going to use it. I don't know if anyone's can tell the difference between the old washes and the new washes. I say old and new. They've probably been reformulated for a couple years now. But the older ones, they tint more. The newer ones tend to flow more. And you can get similar looks, so you just have to go do like 2 coats of the new wash versus 1 coat of the old wash. I'm still on old formula. I had to switch because I was running out of some of the essentials like Agrax and Nuln. So I just went ahead and switched to the new one. It's fine. I don't mind the new formulas. I know a lot of the painting YouTubers kind of acted like it was a horrible travesty. Everything's changing. Washes will never be the same again. They've ruined it. Blah blah blah. Not quite. It's fine. feel like it was a bit of an overreaction. All the oil all over the backpack. And the gun. The red I'm gonna go over with Cardboard Crimson. So I'm just not gonna shade that with known oil on the gun. I feel like I might just have to go back and repaint the gun once I get her body kind of glued back together. I think I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna ignore the gun for now. Focus on these details on her body, and we'll get the cape glued on, and then I'll do the gun last. This will be out in front, and it won't be such an awkward angle to paint. That sounds like a plan. Alright. Now, I'm going to start the bronze details. I don't watch too many painters anymore. I don't really watch a whole lot anymore either. I kind of go through spurts. I'm kind of at the point where I feel pretty comfortable with what I'm doing. Maybe if I want to try a specific technique, I'll go ahead and look it up. But, I mean, yeah. I feel pretty comfortable with what I'm doing, so I just kind of just, you know, I spend my time just painting and not really watching. Runelord Brass, I think, is the color we want. You do it well, sir. Thank you. Or no, actually, maybe Pro-Acryl Bronze or Light Bronze. Let's try Light Bronze. Just mix this up on the old vortex. I think the bearings are going bad on my vortex mixer already. Some cheap off-brand thing. It's like nails on a chalkboard listening to it. Ugh. Alright. Light bronze from Pro-Acryl. Wow, the still is not mixed up enough. It's this is like an army painter paint. So so separated. I like it. Needs a lot of mixing. Alright, let's try that again. Oh, much better. These pro acryl droppers drop an absurd amount of paint. I haven't quite mastered the technique yet for droppering it. Alright, so these panels here, I'm gonna color with light bronze. And I'm debating for the warmer wash I'm gonna give it. I'm gonna go with Reichland Flesh or Seraphim Sepia. I think a Reichland Flesh. We'll get a nice, rich, warm tone. Oh, contrast and kind of make it look different from the rest of the model in a good way. Had some Nuln oil pooling there. Gotta fix that up real quick. Ooh. Same deal on the other side. I'll have to go back and touch that up. Yeah, the new formula is a little bit better at getting in the nooks and crannies, but it doesn't tint for the washes, so I don't know, the new ones have their advantages over the old, but the old has their advantages over the new. I think as long as you understand the difference and it matters to you enough, then you know you can make either work for you. I mean, most novice painters won't be able to tell the difference anyways, so it's not that big of a deal. Whatever one they use will just be the one they get accustomed to. Fancy brass armor. So Greyfax makes an appearance in the novel The Fall of Cadia. So she was there. I can't tell you more of what she did because I don't really remember it. I have to reread that book or re-listen to it. But I remember it being pretty good. Oh my gosh. Making a mess. Making a mess. This is bad. Thin your paints, brother. He used Tamiya liners. Do you just, like for panel lining, do you ever like wash over the whole metallic? Because I feel like metallic paint looks best with a wash. And I try to not leave metallics bare. Wash equals win. Ooh, a Greyfax. Yes, a Greyfax. Adding it to my Inquisitor collection. I haven't played a single game with an Inquisitor yet, though. But they're really cool models, so can't go wrong with that. Get this big old shoulder pad. It's a nice light bronze color. Or light brown. What color is this? It's light bronze. I got a Rocket Raccoon from HeroClix, butchered him, and kit bashed him with my Greyfax to make Inquisitor Greyfox. Oh, that is awesome. That's brilliant. Love it. I'll have to get a YouTube Discord channel going so that viewers can show me these such comments in a picture form. I'd love to see that. That'd be funny. Yeah, one of these days I'll get a proper Discord set up. But it is not that day. Get this shoulder pad. Every time I hear Greyfax, I just think of the Elder Scrolls Oblivion. I don't know if any of you guys have played that game. It's like the Master of the Thieves Guild. Now, if I got time for video game, it's gotta be a GWIP. Well, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, the GW ones are pretty good. I actually started playing the new Indiana Jones, The Great Circle. It's actually really good. I feel like they have like, however they did the voice of Indy, he sounds just like Harrison Ford. It's really good. The story is pretty good so far. Gameplay is super fun. I am a fan. Alright, I'm gonna go in with Known Oil again on her armor. I'm gonna shade it up just a little bit darker, so I can build up the highlights and layer in some lighter metallics. Because extreme contrast makes for really interesting looking minis. And to get extreme contrast, you have to go really dark. Also, this will fix my earlier mistakes here where the wash kind of pooled a little bit much on her legs here. Getting on the gloves too. Just darken up these tatas a little bit. Have you considered a black glaze instead? Pooling Known Oil becomes glossy. This Known Oil shouldn't get glossy. It's not the gloss version. I could do a black glaze. I don't know, that also feels like a lot more work to get the consistency just right and you know, applying the glaze. But yeah, that is a good idea. I feel like if I have an issue with the finish as far as like matte or glossy, I just correct that with like a matte varnish. I do like some contrast paints thinned down with medium for wash glaze. Yeah, that's a good use for them. I like using contrast paints like with like a slap chop-esque approach, or yeah, using them as like another type of wash or glaze. Gonna get this inlay here in red. I'll go back and clean that up. With some black, maybe even a dry brush will clean it up. Don't have to worry about being super neat here. Rift Charger Gray thin down over white is always nice. Oh, yeah. I use Apothecary White. I don't have Griff Charger Gray. I'll have to look at that one. I'm always in the market for new paint. Alright, let's get some more... Let's get another coat of red on the cloak. Or the inside of that cape. The first thin coat has dried. Let's get that second thin coat. Well, it is that time of year where the air is super dry. I can tell the paint on my palette is not staying moist like it usually does in the warmer months. So I'm going to add more and more water to thin these down. Most annoying. Alright, let's get some Abaddon Black back. It has a bit of blue in it, so the white tends to pop a bit more than just gray. Oh, interesting. Like a cool white shading. I'm hoping the Seahawks provide a less than cordial welcome to your local boys this weekend. Wow. Rude? I actually haven't been following football as much recently as I have in past years. But I do like watching the Packers. They're a very likable team. Puppy emergency, I'm back. Oh wow, puppy emergency. That doesn't sound fun. I have a German Shepherd. She's not a puppy anymore, but I remember having to deal with her as a puppy. Never a dull moment. Oh, I just need to go outside. Nice contrast, thin down as a glaze. Yes, because real painters don't use contrast paint. Just kidding. I understand their uses. But yeah, they're just kind of like another tool in the tool belt for me. Let's see if I can just I'm dry brushing black over this red. To clean up my sloppy brushwork. And it's working. Brilliant. If I say so myself. Alright, now let's go back to that silver. How's that looking? It's pretty good. I'm liking that. I'm going to take some of that iron breaker that's on my palette, and I'm going to mix it with lead bilger. About a 50-50. So that we get some iron bilger. That's what the color is called now. And I'm going to mix in some water. I'm going to do a little bit of layering here. Maybe some glazering. Just gonna lighten up. A few spots. Folk art makes an awesome alternative for GW metallics. Oh, interesting. I've been using some pro acryl metallics on some stuff lately. I've been liking those a lot. Those have been pretty decent. Folk art, you say? Interesting. I'll have to check those out. So just kind of carefully adding in this layering here. Lead belcher mixed with iron breaker, just to lighten it up a little bit. Some areas where the light's catching. Trying to keep it fairly thin too, so it's a little bit transparent. It's a little tricky with metallics. They behave a little differently than regular paint, it seems. It's kind of hard to get a good transparency going. But I think we're making this work. Waylon! Army Painter Metallic has said a really be great for all the copper bronze metallic colors. Yeah, Army Painter's been really killing it lately. I dare say. I remember they used to be kind of like the you didn't really think very highly of them, but they were like the cheaper option, you know. They seemed like the off-brand kind of paints. But yeah, recent years they've been really killing it. It's good on them. Just gonna do a little messy dry brush on these fingers. Ooh, 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 I like that. It's looking good. A little bit on this elbow pauldron here. Lighten up those grenades just a tad. I have a Lamenter and a Castigor work in progress on my community tab. They're both at 98% craft paints. Craft paints. Wow. Army painter, when mom says we have model paints at home. Yeah, I think that's not the case anymore. I dare say Army painter is model paints. I'm gonna take some Nuln oil once again. I'm gonna mix it 50-50 with water. Now I'm gonna go back over where I did that on the metal. Come on, focus, focus. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. There we go. And just kind of blend that back down just a little bit. Just a hair. Yeah, like especially on this leg, I think it needs it. Just blend it all back down together. Go. There's some silver on this arm I need to get. Just a little bit of layering here. Don't say wow CCM, I painted with craft paint. Sounds like a meme of my first mini. It sure does. Yeah. Need a dry brush. This will do. Just gonna do a little dry brush on this backpack. Should probably have it on camera so you can see what I'm doing, eh? Yeah, it's looking pretty good. All right. Now, we did that. Let's do some more metallics. I'm gonna pull Rune Lord Brass. Rune Lord Brass. An accent brass color. And we'll wash this, and we'll see how it looks. I've been playing and hobbying for 37 years. I've tried almost every type of product. Heck, I love cheaper alternatives because it allows more budget for experimenting. That's fair. That is totally fair. I hear you there. Experimenting is less stressful when you know it can be done cheap. Alright, just gonna get some of these metal accents in this Runelord brass. Like this inquisitorial skull here. The ribbing on the corset. Yeah, maybe this whole front piece here. I like the way that looks. Breaks up the silver a little bit. Add some visual interest. All those other good buzzwords. Let's also get the saber handle here. So I'm painting Inquisitor Greyfax. What's everyone else working on these days? What's on the hobby desk? Sanguinary Guard. Nice. Eldari Crimson Hunter and Harlequin Troop. Ooh. I have a Crimson Hunter. That was a fun model to paint. $80 Kroot Carnivores. Yeah, Waylon, you got a lot of Kroot to paint. Infantry. Add some brass to this pack here for some break up that metallic, that silver. Make this dial also brass. I was thinking I could do the Hemlock Wraith Fighter in a Harlequin style. So I have a Yanari list with one of each aircraft representing each faction. Oh, that'd be cool. I like that. That's a cool idea. Just finished with Jane Czar Banshees and the first of my Start Collecting Craft Worlds box. It's a Warwalker 5 Wraithguard Wraith Lord. It's Spirit Seer. Of course, there's a few others. Wow, a lot of Eldar. That's nice. I have some Eldar in my backlog. I got some Aspect Warriors still. I'm trying to clear those out. I do like Eldar. I got some Dark Reapers and some Dire Avengers. Those new Aspect Warrior sculpts that they showed off look pretty sweet. I'm liking those. Very cool stuff. Alright, so for her cape, I am just gonna shade that with Nuln Oil on the inside. And maybe do some layering. But Nuln Oil over Mephiston Red actually looks really good. Just want some quick, easy shading. You can apply it pretty thick too, but you don't want it too thick where it starts pooling really crazily. But a little bit of pooling is okay at certain spots. Just gonna wick away. Yeah, turn it up to how I want it, and then see how it's collecting. I want some more in this crack here. This fold. See how that looks. Alright, now I'm going to take the hairdryer and speed dry this. Wow, collecting Eldar for 6 years in box. I hear ya. I got a bunch of Gene Stealer cult I need to crack open. But I haven't been feeling Gene Stealer cult lately, so I've been putting them off. Alright, I'm gonna go back to the tabard. I'm gonna pull in Ushati Bone, I think. Ah, may the new detachments inspire us all. Yes. Games Workshop should just periodically release new detachments. For all armies. It would keep people really interested and engaged. In like the mid-edition cycle or something. I think this Christmas detachment thing is brilliant. I was saying earlier before I think some more of us hopped on, but like it's really smart on their part because they have a very captive audience. Alright, so we're going over that Rakarth flesh with Ushati bone. On this cloth here. And then I think I'm going to shade this with Seraphim Sepia. This cloth. I'll go back to the metal. Gotta let this coat dry though. I'm gonna give it another coat. It sure needs it. Agrax looks nicer in my opinion. For the cloth, you think? I don't know, Agrax might come out a little dark though. I go back and forth. Coat number 2. Shiny bone tabards and all my dark angels. I feel like dark contrast after a dry brush. All right. I could be persuaded to do Agrax instead. Why not? Let's give it a shot. But before I do that, we'll go back to the bronze. And I'm going to shade that with Reichland Flesh Shade. Smaller one. Check this out. I'm so excited. I got these little toppers for my pots. I just gave them like a light gray primer so I can see what they look like. Because like some of them are super strong. Really helps. Hey, Demon Knight! Looks like you should be repairing and painting a Necron construct. Yeah, when I saw those, I was really excited about those toppers, so I printed up a bunch of them. Do Reichland Flesh Shade over all the bronze. Brass, I should say. And the bronze. Did you print or purchase those? I purchased and printed them, yes. The file was like, I don't know, $5. And I printed them, yes. Oh, I love the way a wash looks over metallics. Just adds so much. I feel like it makes it look real. This Reichland Flesh Shade over brass here on this power pack. Washes make the difference between Happy Meal toy and art. I agree, 100%. Alright, Agrax Earthshade. On the tab art. Alright, Francois. I'm following your advice, your suggestion here, so let's see. I'm gonna add a little bit of water though. You want to go back for highlights and blend in pools. Any pools that foam. Yeah. Form, yeah. Yeah, I figured. I figured as much. I usually start blending in Wraith Bone with Ushadi Bone. Helps distinguish it as cloth and not flesh. I suppose, yeah, because it's like a very dirt color. So it's like dirt as opposed to dirty skin. I think, yeah, it just really depends on the colors on the mini itself too. Let's see here. Got this sword sheath. That's kind of interesting. Give that like a dark bluish green color. Incubi Darkness. Just for a little pop of color that's a little bit different, but very subtle. I love Incubi Darkness. It's such a good color. Ooh, yeah, that looks nice. I like that. Agrax is still drying. Other wash is still drying. I'm going to take some Canaptic Alloy, which is like a nice silvery brass color. And I'm going to use that for some highlights or the brass details. Just a little bit here and there. Nothing too crazy. Just bring back some of that shine. Make those metal details really kind of pop. Similarly on the leg armor here. Just a little bit of highlights here and there. I think it makes it look overall a little bit more interesting. Kind of blends it in with the silver metals a little bit. I mean, a lot of this the wash is doing for us because it kind of like pools towards the center of the piece anyways, so the edges are naturally a little bit more the color that we painted initially, which is a little bit silvery, you know. So I don't really have to do a whole lot here. Just a little bit of spot highlights here and there. Oh my gosh, this thing won't stay in focus. I'm sorry about that. Keeps focusing on things in the background. Well, this is looking pretty good. I'm happy so far. This is great. Alright, let's go back to that tabard. Gonna take some shoddy bone, mix with some wraith bone. We're gonna clean this cloth up a little bit. Most of this you won't even see once I get her back reattached. Got a bit of a darker spot there. Let me just see if I can dial that back a little bit. A little bit. It's coming along. Come on. Glaze some Agrax Earthshade back over this a little bit so it gets back in those creases. Kind of fill those in a little bit. So far, it looks like a D&D paladin. Thank you. Got some scroll work here. Gonna paint those Ushadi Bone. And give those a nice wash. Alright, for the seals, I'm going to use Basilisk Red Fanatic Paints, just because I have it. I'm also going to use that for the handle on the sword. I think I might pop off the back here and reattach it soon. Before I move on to the rest. We of course still have her head and face to paint. It'll be an experience. Basilisk Red is kind of like Screamer Pink. It's good for wax seals. I'm gonna paint the her sword handle that color. And then I'm also gonna shade this with Caraborn Crimson, so it'll bring it back more red and less of this like pink color. I'm gonna take, going back to her sword, I'm gonna take some Rust Gray. Yeah, Rust Gray, and just kind of very thinly layer that on over the Incubite Darkness. Just to make that pop a little bit more. Very thin. Just kind of pick out that pattern a little bit, add a little bit of detail. Pretty sure this side you won't even see once the cape is reattached, but I'll get it anyways. Let's go back to the scroll work. Ushadi Bone. Second coat. Alright, Caribor Crimson is the next wash that's going on. Gonna do that on the sword handle and the wax seal. Also, while I have this out, I'm going to do the gun casing. Although I think this gun's going to need some serious touch-up work once I get it attached. But this will be a start. Got this Inquisitor eye on her wrist here. I'm gonna try to color that in with red. There we go. Are you putting together an Inquisition army? I think I'm just gonna use them as allies. But, I have a bunch of agents, like the Arbites. I have a boarding patrol's worth of those guys painted up. So I thought I'd paint some Inquisitors and throw them in there too. Maybe for like a narrative game or something, I'd throw them in. It's like an ally unit or something in my Imperium stuff. But no, I'm not building a full-on Inquisition army. Although, one day, I think eventually when I get around to Adeptus Sororitas, I might, you know, they'll tie in nicely there, thematically at least. Ooh. Ooh. Yeah. It's starting to look like a model. Look at that. How exciting. Yeah, I gotta clean up the gun a bit. But let's work on this underside of this cloak here. And we gotta work on the black side too. Layer in some grays. So I'm gonna get some Mephiston red and some Evil Sun scarlet. It's a nice... It looks so good. Thank you. It's coming together. That's for sure. I'm gonna start with the Mephiston red. Gonna water that down. This is a pretty strong color. Just gonna water it down quite a bit. I'm just gonna start kind of blending in where I want it to be a little bit brighter, where the light is catching the cape Lighten it up a little bit from that Nuln Oil wash we did earlier. Now I'm going to do Mephiston Red mixed with a little bit of Evil Sun Scarlet. Add some water. Get it to like a glaze-ish consistency. I'm going to do that again. I'm just going to take a little bit of straight up Evil Sun Scarlet and add some of the more starker highlight lines. And blend it back in. Then like over here on the side, we're gonna do a little bit of highlight. Yeah, it's looking pretty good. Alright, so then the back side, we're going to layer in some off-black colors. So like Corvus Black, it's very dark, grimy gray, practically black. Sam's eating the paint again. But it tastes so good. I love the paint. Gonna throw some Corvus Black in here. This is the paint that I've been using a lot lately, and I really like it. Because I've always kind of struggled before with painting black and white. Because you kind of naturally think, oh, just paint it black. Oh, just paint it white. But it's the colors in between that really make it look good for like building up layers and stuff. Because, you know, black actually looks kind of gray when the light's reflecting off of it, and white looks kind of gray when it's in the shade. So being able to build up those different colors, they actually make it look more realistic. Alright, next I'm going to take the Canicus Standard Gray. Agrex Earthshade tastes like cinnamon. guys are hilarious. Start getting that highlight going. Mechanicus standard gray. Thinned down quite a bit. This one's also got kind of a strong pigment though. Alright, oh, let's finish these, scroll work, and then we'll paint the face. I don't know about cinnamon, to me it's an earthy flavor, like Jordanian tea. That sounds fancy. I'm gonna do Seraphim Sepia over the scroll work. And we'll do a little dry brush once that dries. Don't want it to be too strong. Alright. The face, the face, the face. The head. That's what the next 2 hours of the stream is going to be. Just kidding. But it will be interesting. Okay. First things first, let's get the hat painted. Bust out the magnifier lens. Yeah. I have to squint really hard. Yeah, one of the favorite features about my camera is I can use it as a webcam with a USB cable. So that's why I'm able to zoom in so closely and get some nice clear picture. Okay. Oh, we have a candle on her head. That's fun. She's got like an eyepiece. Okay. Let's see here. think I gotta just get her skin based in Rakarth flesh. A couple thin coats of that. We'll go from there. Figure out what I want to do. That's one thin coat. Magnifier lens. Actually, I should do that in Runelord Brass. So contrast a little bit more with her skin. She's got like a little eyepiece. Her hair, I'm going to base in Steel Legion Drab. Yeah. Just get a base coat down for that. We'll lighten it up. I think that's her hair back there. Kind of hard to tell. You can really see what I'm doing here. Yeah, this is what I was afraid of. I want to make sure I get the hair in there really good. So I'm painting from the inside out. Paint. Okay. Now I'm gonna layer on some Kislev flesh. Yeah, Kislev flesh. Faces are hard. And mix in a little bit of Rakarth flesh with that. So I still want to have kind of like a semi-palish skin tone. Alright, now I'm gonna make a little wash with Bugman's Glow. And some Lamian Medium. Don't need much. Nah, bases are easy. I said faces, not bases. Alright. Bugman's Glow Wash. Make this face come to life. Come on. I think it's time to bust out a smaller brush. It's really hard to see. Okay. I'll do some targeted. Targeted Bugman's Glow work here. what is going on with this? I think we got some hair over here. I need to... Nope, that's actually all apparatus, isn't it? Okay. I'm having a hard time discerning some of these details. Okay. The face needs to be lighter, much lighter. Pallid witch flesh. It's a perfect color to use for mixing in flesh tones. The nose, cheeks, chin, get the chin real good, the nose, other cheek here. So I'm hoping that Bugman's glow just is only visible on like the lowest areas. We could take more of this pallid witch flesh, mix that in. And I carefully start glazing this on the cheeks. Try to blend that a little bit. I don't know, I do something different every time, I feel like, for faces. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But her eyeball... If we paint her eye, that'll help sell the face. That's not a bad eye, pupil. Oh, we can't even see it. It's so blurry. Face is looking okay, I think. Alright, let's do some work on that hair. Use Carrick stone for that. Just gonna layer that on. Okay, that's starting to look a little bit better now. The hair. Starting to look like a face. A real person. Alright, so coming back to the hat. So you have kind of like a brass cap on the top of the hat. And then there's this plate thing on the top here. And of course the candle. Candle, we're gonna just do the wax pallid witch flesh. However many coats that takes. The holder for the candle. Let's go back to that rumored brass color. The hat itself, I'm gonna shade it in Nuln Oil just to darken up that. Oh shoot! First Nuln Oil spill ever. I didn't have my cap on all the way. Made a mess. Precious Gen 1 Formula 2. It's gonna be gone forever. Let me close that cap all the way. Well, I didn't ruin the model, so that's good. I just got all over my hands. That's 2 for 2. Last week I spilled paint all over my hands too. Such a klutz. Alright. So I'm gonna Nuln Oil shade her hat. As well as her ocular implant here. And the top of her hat. Then I'm going to bust out the Reichland Flesh Shade for the metallics. Go back to that candle real quick here. Gonna need some more pallid witch flesh. I'm gonna totally cheat for this flame. I'm not gonna do the whole fire process because that takes so long and it's such a tiny flame. Darken up the hat a little bit. Oh yeah, this is really coming together. We're going to take some Wraithbone, mix it in with the Carrick Stone, lighten that up just a little bit, and I'm going to do some highlights on the hair while you let that candle wax dry. Ooh, yeah, I'm really liking the way this is turning out. It's good. Decent looking face. Alright, so for the flame, I'm just gonna do Casador Yellow shade. That actually works really well. Better than I could have hoped. Alright, I think the head is finished. And we can go back to the rest of the model. Zoom out a little bit. And we can start gluing her together. A little bit of super glue. Just gotta tidy up the gun a little bit, and then this thing will be done. How exciting. Last the head. Come on. Alright, Inquisitor Greyfax. Just about done. That's looking pretty good. I like this. Just gotta do some touch-up work on the gun, but other than that, she's done. That looks really good. Thanks. Thanks, David. Yeah, I'm happy with the way the face turned out. I was a little nervous or unsure, but I think it all kind of came together. All right, well, that's gonna be all for tonight. It's been 2.5 hours. Good session. Thanks for hanging out, guys, and watching. Topless Demonettes, too spicy. Reichstag Flesh Shade, Chef's Kiss. Thank you. Yeah, I'm just gonna clean up the gun off camera, I think, and finish her up off camera. But yeah, I think I'm gonna call that for tonight for the stream. But thanks for joining me and hanging out with me. And yeah, talking paints and Warhammer and all that good stuff. Alright, well, y'all have a wonderful evening, and I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.